I want to go ahead and talk about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but first off I need to talk about the Nintendo Switch, because that's where Breath of the Wild is going to come in. Alright, so first off I want to go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Switch. Okay, and the Nintendo Switch, the latest Nintendo console that's out now, and yeah, it's out now, and if you pre-ordered your Nintendo Switch, you are lucky. That is depending if you are. Because, and this is where I'm about to jump into this. And this is where I'm about, okay, I could have pre-ordered a Nintendo Switch, that I understand. But why I did not order, or why I did not pre-order my Nintendo Switch, or actually why I did not pre-order a Nintendo Switch at all. Yeah, that's the better question. Why did I choose not to pre-order my Nintendo Switch? Because I kind of fear that Nintendo is going to do this thing to where Nintendo is going to intentionally send the lowest stock possible of the Nintendo Switches to stores, or shall we say, the lowest stock of the Nintendo Switches to each store, and also they're going to intentionally send lowest stock of pre-ordered Nintendo Switches to each store. Meaning, and if that were to be the case, pre-ordering a Nintendo Switch is like a luck-based thing. Let's just say it's like a casino-ish type thing, where you have to have the luck to get the Nintendo Switch you pre-ordered. Because when you're standing in line to get your Nintendo Switch, when it's out now, it's like awesome, you're next, you're gonna be next in line to get the Switch. And then the next thing you know, you're gonna be told, hey, I'm sorry, we ran out of the Nintendo Switches. And if that were to be the case, hopefully you'll have the opportunity to cancel your pre-order for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, or you can double down on this shit and then just go through little instructions on coming back or something like that. Well, actually, to tell the truth, when you pre-order something, it has to be like 48 hours after release. And yeah, that can still be the case. And if that were to be the case, then if you double down on that, then you've completely blown the money paid for the Nintendo Switch. So, might as well cancel your fucking Nintendo Switch pre-order if that were to be the case. Oh, I'm sorry, we do not have any more of the Switches to cover the pre-orders. And yeah, if you're told that, yeah, I'm canceling my pre-order. It's like a luck-based thing, knowing Nintendo. I noticed that people have been pre-ordering the Nintendo Switch so they can get their hands on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you have the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, then chances are you have a Nintendo Switch. And like I said, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's a huge thing for the Nintendo Switch. However, there is a Wii U version of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. However, at the same time, and I gotta be realistic, the Wii U's dead, and Breath of the Wild is a game that's been made for the Nintendo Switch. So, what's going to happen here is that the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild is going to be a dog shit port. Breath of the Wild is not going to be close enough to the Nintendo Switch version, or even satisfactory enough compared to the Nintendo Switch version. So it's better off getting the Nintendo Switch version for Breath of the Wild. And that being said, with the idea of getting the Nintendo Switch and how it's going to be a fucking nightmare, here is the thing. There are other games besides Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You have Nier Automata, you have Ghost Recon Wildlands, or whatever the new one is titled. I just completely forgot the name there, but hey, the new Ghost Recon and Nier Automata. And of course, there's games that came out last month, like Neo, and there's Horizon Zero Dawn. You have all these other games besides Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And let's be honest here. Do you think people are gonna waste the time fighting their way to get the Nintendo Switch, especially the Nintendo Switch they pre-ordered? Are people going to go through that? No. People are just going to go to these other games. Yes, The Legend of Zelda is a great franchise, and I do love the Legend of Zelda franchise. I even enjoyed Ocarina of Time. I was even happy to have finally completed the campaign for Ocarina of Time. And of course, I feel more intrigued into playing another Zelda game. But right now, like I said, there are other games besides Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And really, I can put Breath of the Wild aside till like fucking later. Or probably 2018. Same thing for the Switch. Because 2018, Nintendo's going to be done doing this shit. Or even better yet, maybe there could be a Taiko no Tatsujin. That's a pretty well-known rhythm game. And, hey, I can bring Taiko no Tatsujin, I can import that, because, hey, Taiko no Tatsujin is out now for the Switch. And by then, hey, I have a fucking reason to, well, I have plenty of reasons to get a Nintendo Switch for, because I know for a fact that the Nintendo Switch now has everything that is said that the Nintendo Switch is going to have. I love the Zelda franchise, don't get me wrong. But to be honest with you, nobody is not going to touch on the fucking Wii U version, and anyone playing Breath of the Wild is anyone who's playing Breath of the Wild is somebody who has a Nintendo Switch. If you were lucky enough to pick up your pre-order for the Switch, then chances are you already have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and you're playing it. Anyone who plays the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has the Nintendo Switch version. Nobody's not going to blow the dust off their fucking Wii U just for Breath of the Wild. They're going to want to go for the Nintendo Switch and then get the Switch version of Breath of the Wild. And there's other games besides Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, like I said. You have Nier Automata that's coming out. You have the Kingdom Hearts HD remasters. And you have the new Ghost Recon. You have other games that are coming out. They're not going to waste... No, I don't think people are going to waste the time and go through the trouble for Breath of the Wild. And of course, nobody's not going to go through eBay and pay the extra money to the scalpers so they can play Breath of the Wild. Like I said, other games besides Breath of the Wild. Don't get me wrong, great franchise, and hopefully Breath of the Wild is going to be a great game. But to be honest with you, you're not going to play this on the Wii. Nobody is not going to play Breath of the Wild on the fucking Wii U. I know I'm like stereotyping every single owner of Breath of the Wild as a Nintendo Switch owner. But to really be honest with you, Nintendo's doing that game they're doing that game they play just like that game they played with the NES Classic. And I gotta say this, how the fuck is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I don't give a fuck, how the fuck is the new Zelda going to do against Nier Automata? You think about this. Think about this for a second. Yeah, what about the sales? Okay, guess what? Nier Automata is a niche title. And of course, The Legend of Zelda is a mainstream title. Okay, so sales numbers are going to be what sales numbers are. What I am going to say is that Breath of the Wild is not going to be better than Nier Automata. Okay, the game that's going to do better than one another is going to be Nier Automata. Nier Automata is going to wipe the fucking floor with Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry. Nobody is not going to have the patience for Breath of the Wild. They're gonna go to Nier Automata. You have Nier Automata for PC, and you have it for the PlayStation 4. They're not gonna have the patience to fight through the lines. They're not gonna have the patience to go through the headache. They're not gonna have the patience to basically just freaking make sure that they're lucky enough to get a Nintendo Switch just for Breath of the Wild. When they can go for Nier Automata, that is just crazy, insane, and innovative, and freaking a masterpiece compared to Breath of the Wild. Don't get me wrong, the Breath of the Wild may be a masterpiece, but what's going to be more of the masterpiece is going to be Nier Automata. Because the technology has made it possible for Nier Automata to be more of the masterpiece. People have been flipping shit for Nier Automata. Me, myself, I'll probably give Nier Automata a shot. And I want to, because I want to be into the Nier and Drakengard franchise. I even have Drakengard 3, which I gotta get more into. And really, to be honest with you, I think Drakengard 3 could have been a PlayStation 4 game as well. And I haven't played the first Nier, but I am really wanting to get into the Nier and Drakengard franchise. However, I can see why everybody's going insane over Nier Automata. And to be honest with you, I kind of agree with the hype. I mean, holy shit. And it has me saying, I gotta get myself into the fucking Nier series. I can also see why I need to get the camera away from an object that's vibrating. Don't get me wrong, I am interested into both of these styles. Okay, I'm interested in Breath of the Wild as well as Nier Automata. But to be honest with you, the main point is I'm gonna wait for later. I'm not gonna have... I don't have the fucking patience to basically fight through to get a Nintendo Switch for the sole purpose of playing the new Zelda. So I'm just gonna go with Nier Automata. I can get Zelda another fucking time. Especially another time when I decide to go ahead and get the Nintendo Switch, because, hey, I have good enough reasons why get a Switch. Anyway, that is all, and I'll be looking forward to you in the next video.